Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's question comes from a mom, and she wants to know, how can I make cleaning fun and exciting for my kids? All right, Mom, I got news for you. Cleaning is not fun, and it's not exciting for kids. It never was, and it never will be. So if you give them a cleaning caddy for their 10th birthday like my mom gave me, that's not a cool gift, okay? Don't do that. Little did my mom know, right? Okay, you have to inspire your kids. And we've learned from Psychology 101 that the behavior you reward is the behavior that's repeated. And so instead of yelling at your kids and going, hey, I asked you guys to clean up this room. How many times am I going to have to ask you? What is going on here? Why is this room such a mess? Okay, none of those things inspire your kids to pick up. But if you come in and you are specific, very specific, hey guys, I'm seeing a whole bunch of Legos scattered all over the room. There might be a whole bunch of other things scattered all over, but I need all of the Legos picked up and put inside this tub. We're going to have a race. We're going to see who can pick up the most Legos in the quickest amount of time. The clock starts now. All of a sudden, it's a game. Okay, that's fun and that's exciting, and it's very specific. Now the kids know that what we're going for are Legos here. We're not talking about puzzle pieces. We're not talking about video games. We're not talking about dolls or plastic toys or anything else. We're talking specifically about Legos. And you can have a race, and then you can let the kids count and see who picked up the most. And you can have a little award at the end for whoever picked up the most. You can make it a game. And every time you have this game, you can change the item until all of the room is entirely picked up. Now, I learned playing games with people whose houses I used to clean. I used to work for a school teacher. This is like 20 years ago. She had 5 kids, and they were all girls, and they were all between the ages of like 8 and 13, just one every year. And by the time I finished cleaning for them, they were adult teenagers. And so when I got to their house, they were like hoarders. They hoarded clothing and books and toys and shoes. And you would open the girls' bedrooms. They each had their own bedroom. You would open the bedroom doors and it looked like a bomb had exploded. There was stuff hanging from the mirrors and hanging from the closets and stuff hanging from the lights. The beds were so full of crap that I don't even know where they slept. There was stuff strewn all over the rooms. You couldn't even get a vacuum in there to vacuum. It was just a mess. And the first time that I walked into the bedrooms, I just freaked out. I was thinking, oh my goodness, I could spend 10 hours in this one room alone. How can people live like this? And then my second thought was, there are 5 girls that live here. Are you telling me that there aren't a single one of these girls that have any house cleaning or tidying up skills? And I started looking at the mother. The mother's a school teacher. She's very busy. She comes home at night. She does public school paperwork to grade the kids' papers for the school. She doesn't have time to teach her kids how to clean house. And it was very confusing to me that people could live in that kind of a space. So what I decided was, you know what, we're going to play a game here. I'm going to go to the homeschooling store and I'm going to get some blue ribbons. And the blue ribbons ended up costing me about 50 cents a piece. It was very inexpensive, and I started billing those into the cost of my cleaning supplies. But what I did was, I would give an award at the end of every house cleaning for the most improved. So the first time I came, I could do very little other than just a whole bunch of tidying and picking up and just making myself crazy trying to clean up after the girls. I come back the next week, it's exactly the way it was before. So there had been no improvements. There was one girl that seemed to have made kind of a half-hearted attempt at kind of sort of picking up some of the stuff. So when I left that day, along with my worksheet, I left a blue ribbon. And I said, Margot wins the blue ribbon for having the most improved, cleanest room. And that's all I said. Well, when I came back next week, there were like 3 or 4 of the other girls that had tried to make an attempt to pick up their room. Now they wanted a blue ribbon too. And so it got to the point where every week I would leave a blue ribbon with the most improved or the cleanest room. And I was very specific. She gets an award for this because the clothing was picked up, because the dolls were arranged, because the books were up on the bookshelf. And I left specific instructions so that the other girls could say, oh, I got to arrange my dolls. I have to pick up my clothes. I have to put the books back on the bookshelf if I'm going to win a blue ribbon. And so they all started doing these little things around the house where one day even Dad got a blue ribbon for having the tidiest closet. And then suddenly Grandma was involved and the mom was involved and everyone in the house got involved in this little game. The reward for all this extra effort that they were going to was nothing but a 50-cent blue ribbon. And they would proudly hang them over the mirrors in their bathrooms or over their bedroom mirrors. Like, hey, I got 3 blue ribbons and somebody else only had 2. And they would strive during the week to make sure that they had the cleanest and the tidiest room. And this game went on for 5 years. And they proudly displayed their blue ribbons all over their bedrooms. And I mean, you had to dust around them and you had to clean around them. But you know what? It made my job so much easier. But it became this game. And every week when I left, I would leave at 4 p.m. And it got to the point where everyone in the family would show up to see who got the blue ribbon of the day. It was a really fun game. Then it got to the point where the mother who taught school would end up having an afternoon tea at her house where she would invite the other school teachers to come over after school. And the other teachers that worked at that same school would then get to see this award presentation of who gets the blue ribbon of the week. And it turns out that I ended up cleaning for 7 of those school teachers that worked at that same school. And so it was really a fun game. It was really bizarre, but I took the blue ribbons with me and I took them to a variety of other houses. Not all the houses, because not all the houses needed to play that game, but the people that were really super cluttered, they found joy in being appreciated and being acknowledged and that positive attention being paid to. I never nagged, I never hounded, I never highlighted the fact that some of you really still need a lot of work to do in your bedroom. I never highlighted that. But it stopped the mother from complaining and the mother from nagging, because what happened is now there was an inspiration. There was a joy in, hey, maybe this week I get the blue ribbon. And every week there was only 1 blue ribbon given, only 1. And the reason I did that is because if I gave everyone a blue ribbon, it would dilute the joy of striving so hard for this competition to win the blue ribbon. Now, the truth is the blue ribbon didn't really mean anything. It only meant something to them. But for 50 cents, I could get everyone in the house to start picking up their clutter, which then made my job when I go up to clean baseboards and vacuum floors and wipe windows and mirrors and all those things, it made my job a whole lot easier. So as a mom, how can you inspire your kids? There's a variety of games that you can play, but the joy is in making your kid feel needed and appreciated and acknowledged. And kids will jump through hoops to try to get parental approval. And instead of doing that through bad, mischievous ways, which a lot of kids do, you can switch the script and you can start finding them doing things that are right and get really good. I mean, become a pro at saying, oh my goodness, do you see this great big happy smile on my face? I am dancing on the inside for what you just did. I cannot believe you just cleaned up after yourself and you made everything look so tidy. And be really specific, that you cleaned up all the toothpaste around the bathroom vanity, or that you made your bed this morning, or that you picked up all the socks in your room. Be very specific, because then the kid knows, oh, if I want to make mom happy, all I got to do is pick up all the socks in my room, or I got to make my bed. Be very specific about what it is you're rewarding, and you'll find that your kids will jump through hoops to try to help you and to be mommy's big helper. And I'm not kidding. My husband is probably going to listen to this and it's going to be a little embarrassing. But even for my husband, I say, oh my goodness, you're Angela's big helper. This is my husband. And he's so delighted. He's like a little kid all over again. This works on grown adults. This works on business people. And it works on tiny children. It also works on employees that you have. So catch people doing things that are right and reward that behavior, and you will be surprised and amazed at the hoops people will jump through to try to be your big helper. So mom, that is my suggestion for you. If you're going to make it fun, you've got to make it inspirational. You've got to inspire them to want to help you. Alrighty, so that's my tip for today. If you had one takeaway from today's time together, leave it in the notes below. I'm really curious your one takeaway. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.